Good evening, guys. My name is Tommy, and welcome to Northern Ear Reactions. How are you? I hope you're all okay. Tonight, we're going to be listening to a band called Apocalyptica, and we're going to be listening to a song called Path. Now, this was the second slot on this weekend's Metal Discord vote, it was a suggestion by producer Emma, so thank you very much for suggesting the song in the first place, Emma. It was one of the winners this weekend. We've never had Apocalyptica on. I'm excited to listen to it. Apparently, it's a very similar subgenre to what we had last night, which was Rhapsody of Fire, or Rhapsody as people are correcting me at that time. The song that we listened to, Emerald Sword, was actually called Rhapsody. So it's a similar sound, I'm just going to jump in. This is Apocalyptica and their song Path. Let's go. Okay, so that was Apocalyptica with their song Path. Now, I've just noticed that this is the official video, so there's a very good chance that the corner of the video, I've had to actually stick an image over the edge of it just to stop it from being copyrighted. So if that's the case, that's all that's happened. It's just been taken down off YouTube because the actual video is copyrighted, so I've had to put something over it. I really need to take away the visuals of that video out of the equation, because if I keep them in, I'm going to say that I hated it. Musically, if I think about the sounds that I heard versus the instruments that I was looking at, I wouldn't have thought that those were those sounds. I wouldn't have thought that they matched up. Interesting little phrases of music. interesting call and response structure during the verses, if you like. And then when it comes to the choruses, everyone kind of came together and really went for it, created a really, really big sound. It actually sounded pretty good. Um, there was an interesting little change up right towards the end where I think the time signature changed a little bit. And they got some really interesting sounds actually throughout the song. You had that kind of mid to low range sound that you'd expect from a cello. You had some really high pitched sounds, which I'm presuming came from the cello because we've just seen them playing a cello. If there's a different instrument on the actual recording, then forgive me. It sounded like a different instrument, but from looking at the video, it looks like they're playing everything on the same instrument. So that was interesting. But guys, that video was it wasn't good, was it? It was. I just thought it was a little bit cheesy. It spoilt the whole thing for me. I get the imagery that they're trying to portray. They're trying to almost like it feels like they're having a musical duel, but they're having a musical duel with their shadows, with themselves. So I don't know whether it's a case of that's showing them that they've grown as musicians or that they are challenging their inner thoughts or challenging their inner artistry to create this song. You know, I imagine it's that kind of message that they're trying to portray in the video. But I just think the way that that video was made, just the whole headbanging, the really serious faces, it was just a little bit too much for me. And maybe these comments that I've just made won't mean very much if they have been covered up by an image in the corner. So I apologise, but take a look at Apocalyptica Path official video and you'll see what I mean. That's not for me. That's not for me. That video. So I think even if you take that out, the song had some interesting aspects to it. But I still don't know whether it's my cup of tea. And I think that's something that's yet to be decided on. I probably need to go away, reflect on it, maybe listen to it a few more times. But I'm not won over just yet. Um, and like I said, I need to go away and make sure that it isn't that video that's completely spoiled everything for me, and see if I can appreciate the sound that I'm hearing if I go and listen to it on something like Spotify or something where I haven't got any visual distractions. But having said that, it was suggested that this was a really good introduction to the band, so that does make me wonder what else they've got. Have they got bigger and better stuff? Have they got stuff with vocals? That would be really interesting. So maybe this is a kind of dip your toe in the water kind of experience to see roughly how you feel about the band. And I think if I was to do that kind of statement, I would say interesting sound, but they need to do a little bit more to win me over. There was nothing really for me to cling on to listening to that song or watching the video that took my attention away. And that's what really I needed. I needed to cling on to something throughout that song, and there really wasn't anything. But yeah, that was Apocalyptica Path. I hope you've liked the reaction, guys. If you have, then take a look around the channel and do consider subscribing. I would appreciate that. And I'll be back again tomorrow for some more reactions. Until then, have a good night, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Take care.